It has over time come to my attention that clearly none of you know what the hell you're doing. It would seem that not one of you is capable of pulling forth what makes beautiful, adult, tasteful entertainment of the highest potential caliber. So I, as the remaining bastion of upstanding gatekeeping and tastefulness, must educate you on what you should be enjoying instead of that trash. How dare you make Honey Pop, of all things, popular, settling it, high heavens, giving it sequel after sequel when it is hot trash and irrevocably damaged. Now I must teach you directly. Come then, let us enjoy your education in true taste. Ah, delicious. Now let us get a good look. What is on our docket for today? What will be the penumbral instance of me informing you on the good, the bad, and the arousing? Futanari Vampire Girlfriend. You see, this shit's why you need me. Alright. As I see it, there are 6 categories to an excellent part in adult entertainment. Those are its writing, which defines and sets it apart from pure pornography. How well it fulfills its fantasy. Something might not be your taste, but it could still be good to those it was written for. How expensive is it? It's not worth paying that much for smut that's underrated. It's art, without which, well, we would simply have to just use our imagination, and then why do I need your game? Its value, length to quality to price. And finally, its interactivity. That is the entire point, that I can engage with it in more than simple strokes. Now, let us see how Futanari Vampire Girlfriend holds up. You are a young man who has acquired a date with a goth chick, and as he says, all goth chicks are kinky. You meet up with her at a hotel, you get down and dirty, you become her mind slave, as she whips out her enormous 13-inch futa-cock. Yes, we did measurements on the art, and dicks you in every possible hole. So of course we must begin with vapid and lethargic prose, unable to hold to a single style, shifting between a somewhat elegant style, if you understand my complexion, to a more primal, get fucked, this is what's going in your pussy style. It does not flow well into each other, nor does it describe sex scenes particularly well. Throughout the entire opening, and then throughout, the speaker just simply talks to himself in unabashed exposition as he cleans his room before going to the hotel to hook up for this meetup. What are you preparing for? It only existed for exposition. In addition, even if this is your particular interest, the casual ass-to-mouth that never gets called out in the slightest, the casual deep-throating of a 13-inch cock by a first-timer, the casual face-fucking with a 13-inch cock of a first-timer, all resulting in almost choking when she's finally getting thicker when approaching orgasm. I understand we're discussing a Futanari Vampire Girlfriend here, but you're beginning to push it. Let us begin with the most intrinsic, ethereal form of art, the music. Music helps to push the scene along, to set a scene. So do tell me, what does this set? Certainly not the ethereal romance and approaching mystery of a coming date with this mysterious goth girl. No, a little bit more Pink Panther heist, frankly. Yet that is still the better art in comparison to what this hack drew. Somehow, having never seen either a naked woman or an exposed penis before, he has created, I have to assume he at least, art for which there is no sense of proper perspective or concept of bodily function. Even when fully clothed, she appears to have glistening, dripping wet hair in the light, I suppose? Has she simply not taken a shower in months, and it is that greasy? I've never heard of a tale in which vampires are destroyed by water coming from a shower, but I suppose it's possible. When you are going out of your way to describe those luscious lips beneath everything? It would help to show it. And no, your second graphic image does not cover it. In fact, your second image comes with the secondary problem in that our protagonist's penis has been bent in half. Instead of spreading the pussy has contracted him. Angularly, only on one side. No lips. Simply going into an empty space concealed by balls and being crushed. How pleasant. Of course, you have, roughly speaking, 4 poses. You have us teasing her and her showing herself off. You have where we penetrate her. You have where she penetrates us. And then you have where we return to penetrating her and she forces fellatio. But you only have 2 graphic images. One where she shows off. One where she is atop us. Then back to the one where she shows off when she's apparently inside of us. And back to where she was on top of us. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in that dominant ethereal energy that you're going for here, part of the thirst nature of it is that cock. Is that it is being pressed upon your face. Would that not be the absolute opportunity to draw a perspective shot of her above our protagonist's face, the cock arching above us as it is pushed downwards towards the lips ready to engulf and enjoy, as she smiles knowingly and controllingly down at the figure? Or would a third image have been too much to fucking ask for? Yes, of course, this all plays into the fantasy. The fantasy is disappointing. It seems to nail the fetish of losing control and of a dominant vampire fairly well, and it subverts a lot of the usual tropes that you would see of the male vampire seducing and controlling the female lover. In that, I suppose it is very well done. But the insipid prose cannot overcome the complete lack of proper CGs. So, you're not really going to get much fantasy out of this, even if it's your thing. Now, with value, of course, it is a short game. Very short. I finished it in roughly 20 to 25 minutes, and that was with taking notes and writing everything down, but you could argue that where most would be taking notes and writing down, most would be, enjoying the media. So, if we say that it's about 25 minutes long, it is $1 on Steam, regularly goes on sale. For what it is, it's inoffensive. I would say it is decent value, despite... now this is the difficult situation. There is no interaction, almost. The most interaction you will receive is that it asks for your name, which it will address you by. Which is a big deal for games like these, but it is the bare minimum. There are no choices to be made, there are no branching pathways, there is no gameplay. There is barely art to see, and you can only see that art by playing through the game. Although you will not miss much since you don't need to go deep into the game to get both images that exist. And yet, you cretins have labeled this mostly positive. Is it passable? Barely. But mostly positive. Yet again, evidence you have no taste. While it's passable, this title likely should be shunned and avoided. For much better options, even if it should cost a bit more. Will you ever cease to disappoint? We shall find out next time, when we measure if you have true taste.